So these are my 4 people. My 5th person bailed because he had to work overtime at work.
So we got a dog.
Dog is in home. Okay. Hello, my name is Samantha Ford. Today I'm going to be talking about tobacco, the different uses that people use it for, and a little bit about its history. So first of all, tobacco use has been around for a very long time. They have already shown or found stone drawings in Mexico done by the Mayan Indians between 600 to 800 AD. The very first crop of tobacco was grown for money. That's the #1 cash crop as well. It was in 1612 in Jamestown, Virginia. It's one of the first colonies in the United States. Those settlers grew it for their main purpose of money. Not that many people used to smoke cigarettes or use tobacco in any kind of way. What they did was the average smoker smoked about 40 cigarettes per year. Now, on average, I mean, people could smoke a pack to 2 packs a day. That's a lot compared to then. Before, it was mostly things like a little bit of chew in their cheek, or maybe a rolled cigarette or a cigar. Now, you know, there's all kinds of different ways of using it. There's 2 different kinds of snuff. There's the kind that's like in a little tea bag. Basically, they put it in their cheek, and then it just kind of like releases the tobacco, the nicotine, anything like that. As well as another kind of snuff where they actually snort the tobacco, and the nicotine is released in, through the nasal cavities. They have cigars, cigarettes, chew, of course, where they actually take the tobacco leaves itself and put it into their cheek, and again, they're getting, the nicotine that way. All of that stuff is actually really bad for you. Any kind of tobacco use at all, it's been proven to cause lung cancer, brain cancer, and cancer in various parts of your body, as well as the gum cancer from the chew and the snuff that's in the tea bag. Although they have said that that is a bit safer than the other ways, the one with the tea bag. When growing tobacco, it's actually a very easy crop to be ruined. Anything too much water, not enough water, anything like that can cause any kind of diseases. There could be soil-borne diseases. So it's very hard for the farmers themselves to deal with it. It's a very long, takes about 9 months from start to finish. And right now, not many of the big tobacco companies buy from U.S. tobacco growers anymore. We actually used to have a lot more tobacco farms than we do now. 20 years ago, there were 60,000 farms. Today there's only 5,000. So many people were put out of company because they weren't making enough money. Before, big companies like Philip Morris would basically put a claim on the tobacco that was being grown, and this is what they would get, and so the farmers and their families, this is what they depended on for their livelihood. Now, many of these companies are going outside the U.S. to buy their tobacco, and because of that, our U.S. farmers, our economy is struggling in that way. It is a major controversy, though, because it is so dangerous, and ever since the Surgeon General in 1964 determined that it does cause lung cancer, and a year after that they decided that they were going to start putting labels on all cigarettes. Every 4 months the tobacco companies, the cigarette companies, had to change out that label to different things like, may harm your baby. From there, it's just saying that it can cause lung cancer or it's hazardous to your health. Right now, 12,000 people die each day because of different kinds of tobacco use. So basically because of that, because between the Surgeon General and now all the bans in things like hospitals, airports, restaurants, you can no longer smoke cigarettes in them or even near their doors. because of that, it actually really did hurt our economy, where with the cigarette smoking, a lot less people are smoking, a lot less people have it, they want it, so the companies are making less money, and it's also putting a lot of the growers out of business, and they're no longer able to depend on that to survive. Right now, Philip Morris, who is also the maker of Marlboro, they basically have a hold on 42% of the cigarette smokers in the U.S., so that's a lot of people, are almost half of them. Back in the day, cigarettes were basically only geared towards men. This is in like Civil War, World War I, II. And then around that time, they started giving our soldiers overseas free cigarettes. So they're smoking free cigarettes all day long while they're overseas fighting for the country. And then around that same time, they started gearing it, marketing towards women. So then women started smoking while their husbands were away. It's kind of like a way of stress relief, anything like that. So basically, it was just like a little bit about the history of tobacco and cigarettes and everything like that. And so it's not always a bad thing. It's really good for our economy, but like I said, it is a major controversy because it is so bad for everyone's health. But then you can't really expect the growers to feel the same way, because that is what they depend on every day. Yeah. Okay. Here's my people again, once again excluding that fifth one.